What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and the chips are not falling the way that Diddy thought they would be falling. His chief of staff is now working with the other side. That's a big deal, guys. Like the video as the intro plays, because we have a lot to get into, and this is exclusive. The media, I don't know, technically, I guess I'm media. But anyway, the media hasn't even found this yet. So this is just us. It's exclusive. Like the video as the intro plays, guys.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. Thank you.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
No, this is the party.
Oh, why? I just come back when everybody get here.
No, stay.
No, it's cool. I just come back later when everybody get
I
here.
said stay!
Oh, Diddy, all right, I'm here.
Party with me, Daddy.
I'll be the first one here, okay. Where everybody at?
It's just me and you in here today. Yeah. Now come dance for Brother Love.
I mean, ain't no music playing right now.
I said dance for Brother Love! Take that.
Okay, guys. So it has been a crazy night and an early morning. Let's start here. Everybody was wondering, where's Diddy? Where's Diddy? We found Diddy. Shout out to Simone from Girl Is That Legal. She's been covering this as well. I found out from her that Diddy was tipped off by the feds that something would be happening. And that's when he turned in his phones. So according to Simone, that is actually normal. So I was like, okay, good to know. I'm gonna let my people know. Shout out to her. But him turning in his phones is very interesting because the allegations from Little Rod said that Diddy kept all of this information on his phones. And oftentimes what you'll hear is people who, let me put my allegedly banner, people who, excuse me, have done these things and feel like they're not going to get away with it, oftentimes keep these tapes and recordings for their own gratification. But according to Little Rod, Diddy kept his as a way to kind of like blackmail anybody who had anything against him, right? If you have videos of somebody in a compromising position, that is extreme amounts of power. But with his phones being taken and his computers and laptops being taken in the raid, there's not going to be anywhere to hide. This was one of the agents with leaving Diddy's house, along with boxes and boxes of stuff. Now, we did also find out that where Diddy was. So let me show you. Of course, TMZ got the footage. This is Diddy pacing. Y'all, why do y'all think he was pacing? And why did he leave his children? We now know that there were like multiple planes, Entourage on one plane, Diddy on another. You left your children knowing that the feds were coming? How do you have your entourage with you, but your children aren't? Is it just me? Because we saw your children in handcuffs. How could you allegedly know that the feds were coming, but your children are allowed to stay in the house? I can't make that make sense. At the very least, if you knew it was coming down the pike, then you have to let the kids know to get the hell out so that there aren't images of these. They're not kids, but you know what I mean. Images of these boys in handcuffs. if you cared. But let's see. It says TMZ has the first video of Diddy after his homes were raided by the feds Monday. And instead of being in handcuffs and on the ground, the guy was kind of just walking around. Check out this footage we obtained, which we shot around 3 p.m. today, Monday, a couple hours after the raids at his homes got underway. At the Miami Opelika Executive Airport, where witnesses tell us Diddy and some of the other people got stopped by the feds. We're told this shows Diddy pacing around outside of customs office there at the airport. And as you can see, he's not being detained. And he clearly doesn't seem to be in custody here. Instead, Diddy just walking around all by his lonesome. An eyewitness tells us Diddy was waiting on other people in his party here who were stopped and questioned by the feds as well during this whole ordeal. But we haven't been able to confirm who was rolling with him yet. All we know is he and his crew got stopped at Opelika, where we're told he appeared to aboard a separate private jet. And that's when Homeland Security rolled up. While it might seem strange that Diddy wasn't cuffed, it actually tracks with what we've heard about the situation thus far. Namely, sources with direct knowledge tell us that he is not under arrest at this point, and more importantly, he obviously isn't on the run either. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, but it would appear law enforcement officials are probing federal crimes that have been alleged against Diddy as of late in several lawsuits, including alleged trafficking, all of which Diddy has denied again and again. Now, y'all, I'm just sitting here like, we have been waiting for these moments. I told you guys that there was going to be amended complaints, and there is, and it's the amendment of all amendments. But I also want to show you this. Well, I wonder if I want to show you this first. I talked to you guys about Sloan. Let me do this really, really quickly.
Listen to this.
I am being shown November of 2023. So her death date was November 15th of 2018. But I'm being shown November of 2023.
Which is this month, obviously.
Done with this. I feel she's shaking her head yes. Before she stared at me, then she waved, and now she's shaking her head yes. I am being shown that things are being prepared.
No, the feds actually reach out to your attorney. That's how he was tipped off. The feds reach out to the attorney so that they can get what they need smoothly. In these lawsuits, he was already told he was not allowed to destroy any evidence, documents, pictures, all that. So that's already solidified in these lawsuits. But in terms of the feds, they want to be able to get in, get what they need, and get out. This has been an ongoing investigation. And I told you guys last night when I showed you in the other complaints from the 3 out of the 4 people suing him, that they allege that there was sex trafficking. But this is Sloan giving us basically the dates when Diddy was going to go down.
She is showing me a trumpet. People are standing straight up, and there are people going to speak, not just about what happened to her, about other things. Something is unraveling. For some reason.
How did somebody get the footage? That could have just been another person at the airport. TMZ buys their footage from people. So if you have a tip, you know, you could always give it to me for free. But I think TMZ pays. Okay. And this was somebody else alleging that the feds were coming.
For his boy Puffy. Puffy, I warn Keefy D to take his ass over there. There's no extradition laws over there. So I'm warning you now, Puffy. Take your ass over there. Reggie prediction. I know Puffy is smart enough, and he probably done already cleaned his houses. But sexual predators, what do they do? And we'd be like, damn, why? They treat their sex tapes like, yeah, remember that song, Me and My Girlfriend, that Pac did? What he was talking about? What was Pac talking about, y'all? And that, do y'all really know what he was talking about? For those of y'all know what he's talking about a gun, but sexual predators is what hold on to their tapes. And cops know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if some storages or some of Puffy properties be getting raided real soon, because they need to get to those tapes. They get one of those tapes with him with those little people that's been making the accusations. Woo, man.
Okay, so let's get to this. Now, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys do know this woman. Her name is Ethiopia. Very beautiful lady. This is Diddy's chief of staff, or was Diddy's chief of staff. Ethiopia was included in the original complaint from Little Rod. But you know who's not in that complaint anymore? Ethiopia. You know why? I'll show you. Exhibit B. Declaration of Ethiopia. I, Ethiopia, declare I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth herein, which are known by me to be true and correct, and if called upon to testify as a witness, I could and would competently testify there. Oh, sorry, my bad. Confidently testify thereto. I began my employment with Universal Music Publishing Group in January 2003. In or around February 2024, I was promoted to president of Urban Music, co-head of Created at UMPG. In or around February 2024, I was also given titles of president of Motown Records and executive vice president of Capitol Records Music Group. In those roles, I reported directly to Steve Barnett. In or around March 2021, I became the chairwoman and CEO of Motown Records. At that time, Motown Records became a standalone label with UMG Recordings. In that role, I reported directly to Lucian Grange. Lucian Grange, major player, a lot of money. All up and through this lawsuit, we hear Lucian would come in and disappear into a room with Diddy. This is a smoking gun, guys. This woman knows where all the bodies are buried. This woman knows details about what is actually going on. And this woman is no longer in the lawsuit because she is willing to testify. This is what nobody expected. You can have, Little Rod and Cassie and, Jane Doe come forward as the victims. But when you have somebody who is in power and comes through to testify, that changes the game. I left Motown Records and the entire UMG organization in November 2022. In or around May of 2022, Motown Records entered into an agreement with Love Records, Inc., whereby Motown Records obtained the right to distribute one album produced by Love Records, Inc., entitled The Love Album. UMG was aware of and authorized Motown Records to enter into a license agreement with Love Records. To the best of my recollection, under the license agreement, Motown Records agreed to pay or reimburse Love Records for certain of the invoice recording costs incurred by Love Records in making the Love Album. I'm not personally aware of any financial sponsorship by Motown Records or UMG of the blah, 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 blah. To my knowledge, neither Motown Records nor UMG would have organized or run any listening parties or writer camps. No, these are the things these are the things that had her in the suit in the beginning. Let's see. We have to go back to Little Rod's first. Let me take this off the screen. I want to show you guys all the places where she's listed in the original suit, because Little Rod's first suit showed it was like 72 pages. His new amended complaint is like 96 pages, y'all. And some of the pictures contain paraphernalia. That's why I'm going to have to put them on my Instagram. Make it make sense now. YouTube doesn't like that kind of stuff shown. Okay, so Ethiopia. I got the original complaint pulled up. Page 32. Okay. Defendants executed their RICO enterprise with threats of isolation from the music and entertainment industry, parading powerful music industry executives such as defendants Lucen Charles Grange, Ethiopia Habberton, at his parties filled with sex workers, minors, and illegal drugs such as ecstasy, coke, GHB, ketamine. She's also listed in page 33. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs has recordings of defendants Lucien Charles Grange, Ethiopia Habberton, as well as other celebrities, music label executives, politicians, and athletes. Oh, yeah, guys, we got like over 5,000 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button. If we have 5,000, I think we could at least start off with getting like at least 2,000 likes. Your boy has been working. And again, this is exclusive. Nobody else is bringing you this as of yet. Page 53. I have to be careful because some of these photos will get me in trouble. Okay. Defendants Lucien Grange, Ethiopia Habberton, Motown Records, Love Records, Universal Music Group aided, abetted, and induced Sean Combs' trafficking venture that was in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce together with others in violation. The crimes that defendants Lucien Charles Grange, Ethiopia, Motown Records, Love Records, Mr. Combs perpetuating of coercive sex trafficking in violation of, and they give you the ordinance. Mr. Combs co-conspirators knowingly benefiting from coercive sex trafficking in violation, and the crimes were in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce. I guess this woman said, I'm out. You have a beautiful, capable former president of a record label now involved in this. She said, I'm going to sit this one out, y'all. Y'all got it. Let's see. Okay. Defendants Lucien Charles Grange, Ethiopia. Affirmative conduct of aiding, abetting, and inducing Combs violations was committed knowingly and in reckless disregard of the facts that Mr. Combs would use cash and financial support provided by defendants Lucien Charles Grange, Ethiopia Habberton, Motown Records, etc., etc. Defendants Lucien Charles Grange, Ethiopia Habberton, Motown Records, Love Records, intentional conduct of aiding and abetting and inducing Combs violations has caused Mr. Jones serious harm, including without limitation, physical, psychological, emotional, financial, and reputational harm. While we're at it, it was reported last night that 3 women and 1 man had gone to the feds. I showed you guys Cassie's complaint where there was sex trafficking. I showed you Little Rod's complaint where there was sex trafficking. Jane Doe's complaint. Now that's 3. I'm wondering if Ethiopia was the 4th because it was 3 women and 1 man. What this does effectively is add another layer of protection to these alleged victims. The lawsuit is one thing, but actually having the feds investigate it, if anything were to happen to any of these people, these are some of the most protected people now. If anything happens to any of them, there's no way that fingers would not point to Diddy. Let's see, 58. And we're going to get into his new amended complaint, y'all. This is some... Here we go. Defendants Lucien Grange, Ethiopian, blah, blah, blah. knowingly and intentionally benefited financially by receiving things of value from participating in, assisting, supporting, and facilitating an illegal coercive sex trafficking venture that wasn't in affecting interstate and foreign commerce. Lucian Grange, Ethiopia Habberton. Among these concrete steps, the defendants Lucian Charles Grange, Ethiopia Habberton, Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Music Group took to aid Mr. Combs was providing vast sums of cash, which made the sex trafficking venture possible. Providing Mr. Combs with large sum of U.S. currency caused defendants Lucian Charles Grange, Ethiopia Habberton, Love Records, to receive financial benefits. Ma'am, you are all up and through this initial complaint, and you are not in the new complaint. While we're at it, let me show you. Lawyers for Cassie and Rodney Little Rod Jones released statements amid Homeland Security raiding Diddy homes. Lawyers for singer Cassie and producer Rodney Little Rod Jones have released statements. We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct, Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Wigder, said in a statement per Rolling Stone's Nancy Dillon. Nancy Dillon says, about damn time. Sometimes justice delayed is not justice denied. So as long as justice ultimately arrives, lawyer Tyrone Blackburn tells Rolling Stone. He reps Liza Gardner and producer Little Rodney Jones, who allege Combs assaulted them. I know you, Tyrone. I can tell you Tyrone Blackburn is somewhere smiling. And guess what, guys? Little Rod's amended complaint done March 25th. So the day he was raided, that's when the complaint dropped, going from 70 pages to 90 pages. Let me show you. I wonder, so Lucian's attorney appeared, I believe, this week as well. Tyrone also sent this to the judge. I'm writing you to provide your honor with an update regarding the above referenced matter on behalf of the plaintiff. On March 21st, 2024, plaintiff entered into an agreement with defendant Ethiopia Habberton. Under this agreement, in exchange for a declaration that will be appended to the forthcoming amended complaint, the plaintiff has agreed to dismiss all claims against Habberton with justice. Furthermore, the plaintiff has elected to dismiss claims against Chalice Recording Studio without prejudice. This decision enables the plaintiff to refile these claims in Los Angeles, where CRS is headquartered. Although they have been in constant contact with the writer through threatening emails and letters, the remaining defendants have yet to appear in this case. Instead, defendant Sean Combs, through his representative, has engaged in concerning behavior, including manufacturing stories about plaintiff on TMZ and dispatching his agents to harass plaintiff's 8-year-old daughter. 8-year-olds aren't even safe. 8-year-olds aren't even safe, y'all, allegedly. Plaintiff on TMZ and dispatching his agents to harass plaintiff's 8-year-old daughter, the mother of his child, and ex-spouses, all of whom have expressed fear of potential harm by defendant Combs. Moreover, defendant Sean Combs has attempted to contact plaintiff through third parties to persuade plaintiff to terminate this writer and hire counsel who has a relationship with defendant Combs. Now, guys, this is important because they are telling you they have all expressed fear. I told you, people are actually scared of this man. Now you see it in writing. Not only is Tyrone's client, Little Rod, scared, but everybody in his orbit is scared. These actions have compelled the plaintiff and his loved ones to file a police report. This writer has raised concerns surrounding this harassing behavior, and they doubled down and indicated that their harassing behavior will continue. Consequently, the plaintiff has reported these actions to the California, New York, and New Jersey state bars. Regarding defendants United Music Group, Lucian Grain, and Motown Records, the representative has inclined to engage with this writer despite several emails requesting a call to discuss the plaintiff's claims. Well, they may not need Lucian if they got Ethiopia. He has sent multiple contradictory emails and letters filled with empty threats. He went so far as to misleadingly represent that he is counsel to Mrs. Habberton, a misrepresentation that was promptly discovered through discussions with Miss Habberton's actual counsel. What are y'all? I'm letting you guys see this. Again, are you guys hearing this? You don't necessarily show up. You're not actually helping the case because maybe you got something to hide, right? But now you are saying that this woman's attorney is that you are this woman's attorney, and you are not this woman's attorney. She has her own. Mm-mm. 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 Let's continue, y'all. Despite reminding him of his professional duty to engage with opposing counsel to seek a resolution on behalf of his client, he chose instead to hurl insults and boast about his legal experience spanning over 50 years. I'm telling you guys. Hold on 1 second. Oh, we got like almost 8,000 in the chat. I don't know where we are on likes. I think if we got 8,000, let's try to get to 4,000 likes, y'all. If you are new to the channel, definitely subscribe. We are well on our way to hitting 150,000 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, the subscribers on this channel, we call each other the straight shooters. I am also going to just drop the link to my Instagram. Some of these photos in this complaint I can't show you because there is paraphernalia. So I'm going to be putting that on my Instagram. So I'm just going to put this down here. Link to my Insta. And then I'll pin it. Okay. So you can subscribe to my Instagram and I'll put the exhibits. Now let's get into his new complaint, y'all. 96 pages. But so much of that complaint is actually showing it's a lot about sex trafficking. So the complaint drops yesterday. He gets raided yesterday. And we find out that 4 people, 3 women and 1 man have gone to the feds and are working with the feds. If some tapes are found and names get released, who are y'all thinking are on those tapes? On these alleged tapes that Little Rod said that Diddy has on everybody? Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not showing any of these photos. Okay. Now, this lady, Christina Korn, if she ever, let me take this off. Hey, if she ever flips, it's a wrap. This woman works so closely. They're calling her, you know, Diddy's equivalent to just Ghislaine. According to Mr. Jones, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Mr. Combs, he witnessed Mr. Combs display and distribute pow-pows from his bedroom closets in Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, California, to questionable individuals dressed in all black. According to Mr. Jones, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Mr. Combs, he witnessed defendant Quorum openly order her assistant to keep Mr. Combs high off gummies and pills. If you look at number 23 at the bottom, we have a recording of this and we'll provide it to the court. Defendant Quorum required all employees from the butler to the chef to the housekeeper to walk around with a black powder pouch or fanny pack filled with coke, ecstasy. Oh, no, shit. Can't show that. Hold on. me take this off the screen. That's one of those pictures I'm going to have to show you guys later. Here you go. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Quorum ordered adult workers for Mr. Combs. On one occasion, she sent Mr. Jones a text message requesting that he call a particular worker. We have the message. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We're safe on this photo. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Quorum ordered and distributed ecstasy, coke. Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and in his homes in LA and Miami. According to Mr. Jones, on multiple occasions, defendant Quorum forced him to carry Mr. Combs' drug pouch against his will. The pouches were always black, and several of Mr. Combs' staff carried black Prada pouches. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Quorum also sent Mr. Jones to solicit workers for Mr. Combs. When the workers arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, defendant Quorum would negotiate their price and would take them outside and pay them. Okay, let's see. Whew. As the chief of staff, defendant Quorum was instrumental in organizing and executing the RICO and TVPA enterprises. Defendant Quorum had the following individuals execute the following tasks for the RICO and TVP enterprises. Stevie J recruits sex workers and intends and participates in freak-off. If you go down to number 24, it says, we have a video of Mr. Combs, Stevie J, and Plaintiff Jones at a strip club. Mr. Combs is recording the video while coaching and training Plaintiff Jones how to recruit sex workers. Justin Combs solicits prostitutes, underage girls, and sex workers, would engage in freak-offs. Now, y'all, that's new information. We have never heard anybody allege specifically that he was the participant in the freak-off. They just said he would bring the girls around, allegedly. Now, it's being stated in this lawsuit that he is actually a participant in the freak-offs. Brendan Paul works as Mr. Combs' mule. He acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' drugs and pow-pows. Frankie Santella works along Brendan. While Brendan acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' drugs and pow-pows, Frankie carries the money and pays for them. It says vice president of, so Frankie Santella is vice president of music management and strategic partnerships, vice president of music management and strategic partnerships in Combs Global. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs funded and used his affiliation with local gangs and gang leaders who would frequent his homes in LA and Miami to secure the pow-pows that he obtained and distributed out of his homes in LA and Miami. According to Mr. Let's see if I can show these. Okay, here we go. According to Mr. Jones, defendants executed their RICO and TVA enterprises with threats of violence, threatening to eat plaintiff's face, displaying and distributing pow-pows in plaintiff's presence, bragging about having law enforcement under control, bragging about unaliving people, and bragging about bribing witnesses and jurors in the criminal case. According to Mr. Jones, defendants executed his RICO with threats of isolation from the music and entertainment industry, parading around powerful executives at his parties filled with sex workers and illegal drugs. According to Mr. Jones, the defendant executed RICO with threats of non-payment for work completed, allowing him to wreak havoc. Mr. Combs has recordings of several celebrities, artists, music label executives, and athletes engaging in illegal activity at Mr. Combs' function. Now, we don't know who those are specifically as of yet, but they have Diddy's phone. Just saying. Upon information and belief, these individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent, as is the case with the homosexual tape that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones, claiming to be Stevie J. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person who has attended his freakout parties and his house parties. Upon information and belief, due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and untouchable. Now that tracks. Based on information and belief, Mr. Combs employs Jose Cruz as his IT director. This writer has spoken to several former employees of Mr. Combs who confirm that Jose Cruz is the gatekeeper to all of Mr. Combs' recordings. Upon information and belief, Jose Cruz intentionally hides behind the camera from social media and the internet due to all of the incriminating acts he was required to record for Mr. Combs. Defendant Mr. Combs hired private investigator Russell Green to seek out, harass, bribe individuals to provide dirt on Mr. Jones. On about March 2nd, 2024, Mr. Jones was informed by a close friend from his church that Mr. Combs' engineer, Matt Testa, provided an individual's phone number to Los Angeles-based investigator Russell Green. Now, guys, this is important because if you recall, they really wanted Jane Doe's name to be they don't want Jane Doe's name to be redacted. They really want Jane Doe to have to come forward. And this is exactly what I was telling you guys. If they have her name, they can now do their own campaign in the court of public opinion against her. The same way that he attempted to do to Little Rod. You were hiring investigators and talking to TMZ about this man. It is absolutely crazy. That defeats the purpose of a Jane Doe, but that's why they want to. That's why they want to. It said, it's Russell Green. So-and-so gave me your number. Are you available to speak with me? Hey, I can chat in a couple hours if that's cool. Sounds good. I'm in an event from 3 to 5, so I'll be available after live. I'm on the West Coast. Where are you? I'm in Los Angeles. I can talk at 1:30 as well. Okay, you available now? Did you just call me? Yes. Upon information and belief, Mr. Green attempted to bribe this anonymous individual with an uncertain amount of money in exchange for her producing text messages or any evidence that the individual could produce to paint Mr. Jones in a bad light. During a call with Mr. Jones, this individual expressed fear for their safety and the safety of their family. This is a clear example of some of the tactics implemented by Mr. Combs and the members of Combs Rico and TVPA Enterprise. Besides contacting the individual previously mentioned, Mr. Green contacted Mr. Jones' 8-year-old daughter. He solicited information from this child about her father until she cried in fear and handed the phone to her mother. At that time, her mother hung up the phone. Mr. Green proceeded to text her. She informed him that she did not want to be bothered, and he continued to send her unwanted, harassing text messages. You asking an 8-year-old to flip on her daddy? Well, first off, how did she get the... He must have called the house. Somebody said this is gossip. No, Mims gets the chat moving too fast. Oh, somebody said, is this gossip? No, this is the actual complaint. If you're new to the channel, I work really hard to make sure that I speak to attorneys, private investigators, so that I'm bringing you guys up-to-date information, and it's not just conjecture. This is the actual complaint. And like I said, the news media didn't even have the information on Ethiopia as of yet. So this is exclusive so far to this channel. Not Diddy be snatching them cheeks. That's funny. Okay, let's see. Mr. Jones incorporates by reference all blah, 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 blah. The financial support provided by the collective was the lifeline that spearheaded and maintained defendant Sean Combs, blah, 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 blah. So we're going back to Lucian. Let me take this off the screen because I really don't want these pictures to get me in trouble like they have before. Okay. I can show you guys this. Within a few months of working for and living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed KK instruct her direct reports and Combs Enterprise employees to acquire and transport the following drugs: ecstasy, coke, GHB, ketamine. Mr. Jones personally witnessed Combs Enterprise employee Brendan transport firearms to and from nightclubs, strip clubs, and other venues for Mr. Combs on his person in Miami, Florida. Mr. Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs distribute firearms out of his bedroom closet to individuals that Mr. Jones knew to be members of local gangs. During the making of the Love album, several evenings, Mr. Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs instruct the Combs Enterprise employees, Brendan, Frankie, and Moy, to solicit workers to the recording studio at his homes and to the Chalice recording studios. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs felt there was too much testosterone in the studio and wanted workers there to create the vibe for the Love album. Then these workers arrived, and Mr. Jones and other musicians and producers were required to engage in sex acts with them. KK and Frankie would often negotiate the price for the workers' services. They would either pay the workers in cash, electronically, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or wire transfers, which now means that can be traced, or through any other form requested by the worker. As detailed in the chart below, when Mr. Jones was groomed into soliciting sex workers for Mr. Combs, he often negotiated the cost via text messages. Are y'all hearing this shit? Burly Girl says, wow, the frantic scrambling going on in Diddy camp. Would you run or flip evidence? Would y'all want to go down with Diddy? Jessica. I don't think anybody wants to go down on Diddy either. Jessica, thank you so much for joining the membership. Burly Girl, thank you for the super chat. Miss Astria, thank you so much for joining the membership. Happy Diddy leaving his sons tells me that Diddy is selfish. That's how I'm feeling about it. Like, we see each other. Boss Lady says there's a phone in his damn hand. You know, people have multiple phones, right? Waddle says, wow, 5K in the chat. Y'all better run up the likes. Mims is working hard for this content. Hello. Thank you, Waddles. And yeah, sleep is not something that's happening as much these days. Joy, thank you for joining the membership. Kira, thank you for joining the membership. Booty Butter says, run up the likes or else Diddy will do a light toot on the tip. Oh my God. Thank you, Booty Butter. Jacqueline, thanks for joining the membership. Amanda, do they have to have solid proof of some of the accusations before getting clearance to raid, or are they concerned info may be destroyed? Now, guys, I do have a attorney. He's been on my channel before. His name is Dimitri. He's going to come and we're going to talk about what a lot of this stuff means, but they have enough probable cause. So based on what whomever those 3 women and 1 man told the feds, it was enough probable cause. And this dude says he has evidence and text messages, cash apps, video footage to back up the things that he said. So we'll see. Thanks, Amanda. 25th was biggest, 27th of the life after death. Yeah, it was 27 years since that album dropped. Booty Butter says, Mims, you better not be throwing it back on the tapes. Joy Angel says Cuba Gooding Jr. is definitely on one of those tapes. I believe it. Allegedly. Jersey Girl, I know Misa's having a kid right now. Misa, this will hopefully get Justin you know, he had the DUI recently, and Misa came out against Diddy. I want all of his kids to back away. Thanks for gifting that membership. Ole says, you are better than CNN. No fake news over here. Thank you, Ole. And Joy Angel says, now I see why Vicky Winans wanted to get her son Mario away from Diddy. I hope he didn't get caught up. I liked his song, though. I can't remember what his song was, but I remember he had one single that I liked. Mario Winans. I'd be surprised if he got paid. Let's see. Let me take this off the screen. So this shows the joint partnerships and why all of these people are included in this lawsuit. These are all new. This was not part of his initial complaint. Okay, here we go. As part of this scheme, defendants required their artists, creatives, and musicians and producers to visit strip clubs where wearing exclusive, authentic Bad Boy merchandise and to use the name and reputation of Mr. Combs to solicit sex workers. So this is a photo of them. He told you, and I'll show you the pictures of some of them. That'll be on my Instagram. That he would have to go into these clubs. Once they saw the hat, then the girls who worked for Diddy and knew about Diddy's alleged enterprise would then know to interface with him. Then they would work out rates before hiring them to go and, you know, allegedly sleep with the people at the freak offs, at the music studios. Additionally, Mr. Combs used the prospects of winning Grammy Awards, purchasing $20 million homes, participating in future projects, all to dissuade this man to continue to work with him basically for free. I want to show you guys some of these exhibits that were not in the original complaint. According to Plaintiff Jones, defendant Sean Combs bragged about having several women on a monthly stipend. According to Plaintiff Jones, the women who receive these payments are... Oh. Y'all know I love Carisha, but Carisha has now entered the lawsuit, guys. Y'all know I like Carisha. I like the City Girls, but Carisha has now entered the lawsuit. According to Plaintiff Jones, defendant Sean Combs bragged about having several women on a monthly stipend. According to Plaintiff Jones, the women who receive these payments are Carisha Romika Brownlee. That's her name? Carisha Romika Brownlee, a.k.a. Young Miami, Jade Ramey, a.k.a. Jade, and Daphne Joy Cervantes Navarez, a.k.a. Daphne Joy, who were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs sex workers. Based on information and belief, they received payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill. It is unclear if they were... Are y'all hearing this? This man is alleging that Carisha is a sex worker. We have over 10,000 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button, y'all. It's a free way to support the channel. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. We are well on our way to hitting 150,000 subscribers. If we do well on this video, we might actually hit our 150K. So definitely subscribe. He is alleging that Carisha is a sex worker. Now, based on information and belief, they received payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill. It is unclear if they were provided the appropriate United States federal tax documents for these payments or if they independently declared these payments on their taxes. He then spilled on Carisha, y'all. Like, You know good and goddamn well Carisha did not put this stuff on her taxes. You know she didn't put this on her taxes. Allegedly. I don't know. Maybe she did. I don't know how I don't know how you would put that kind of payment for these kind of allegations. It is unclear if defendants Lucien Charles Grange, in his capacity as CEO of UMG, Uptown Motown Records, and Universal Music Group, requested an audit of defendant Sean Combs and Love Records' financial records to ensure the financial support they provided to defendant Sean Combs and Love Records as part of their general business partnership was not being used to pay Carisha, Romika Brownlee, Jade Rami, and Daphne Joy Cervantes. During the 10 years preceding the filing of this action, and to all present, defendants did cooperate jointly, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Make sure I'm not to get wetter when it's a billionaire. Oh, let's see. Okay, we're good to show this. These acts set below racketeering acts followed the same pattern and purpose: to defraud the plaintiff for the defendant's benefit. Each racketeering act involved the same or similar methods of commission and participants. Let me take this off. Now, Carisha has been real quiet. I don't know that Carisha is technically a sex worker, but that's what these allegations are saying. There were some exhibits that I really want you guys to see. Okay, here we go. This is also new. By way of example, on or about January 28, 2023, Plaintiff Jones was residing in defendant Combs' home at 2 Star Island Drive in Miami. Defendant Sean Combs and Christian Quorum forced Mr. Jones to send Ubers to transport a sex worker to Mr. Combs' home located at 2 Star Island Drive in Miami. We have the complete text thread and have intentionally opted not to include it here to protect the identity of the sex worker. Defendant Combs forced Mr. Jones with the worker against his will. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Combs felt there was too much testosterone. Okay, so y'all heard that one already. But now he's admitting that he has all of these texts. Do y'all think that the sex workers will flip on Diddy? There would need to be some type of protection. In the interest of preserving Plaintiff Jones' Fifth Amendment rights, we will provide the remaining text messages and voice memos to the court in camera. It is important for the court to remember that the plaintiff was coerced through threats of violence to engage in these acts. Additionally, defendants Quorum and Sean Combs controlled the purse and would only allow plaintiff to leave their custody and control based on their terms. So here is where he is actually providing proof that he was sending for this worker. He was forced by Mr. Combs and Christina to send Ubers to transport a sex worker to and from Mr. Combs' home. The man said that he had proof. The first complaint, he dropped a little. Then they dropped a little bit more. Then they were dropping videos like this.
To show y'all how we have fun and stay out of jail too, and make money.
Y'all remember that? Y'all think Diddy's still walking around like this?
Feeling like a little kid, I'm still standing there.
I don't think now we see him pacing. A couple months ago, it was
feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing there.
Not so much. Times have changed. Times have changed real quick. Let me take this off. And people were laughing at Lil Rod. How's a whole man being, you know, coerced into this? You can't do this to a man. Yeah, people are scared of this man. Yes. Typically, when you have money and power, you can do a lot of things to a lot of people, and people are scared to come forward. More trip details. Sean Combs and Christina and others known and unknown in and affecting interstate commerce did knowingly combine, conspire, confederate, and agree to recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, and maintain by any means a person, and to benefit financially by receiving anything of value from participation in a venture which has engaged in such an act, knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion, and a combination of such means would be used to cause the plaintiff to engage in a commercial sex act. Again, if you're just coming in here, Lil Rod released his amended complaint, added 20 extra pages to an already 70-page complaint, and continues to show what he considers proof of sex trafficking. So he drops this complaint on the 25th of March, 2024. And on the 25th of March, 2024, Diddy's house gets raided. Y'all connect the dots there.
Like, girl, get it together. Connect the dots.
This is done so well, so thoroughly. You drop the thing, people laugh at him. Sean Hawley, Diddy's attorney, comes out and was like, oh, this is such a frivolous lawsuit because we can show you that there was no underage girls. We have this, we have that. And the man is saying, I'm sitting on evidence. I'm kind of glad that Diddy did not just settle this one. I'm kind of glad that Diddy did not just settle this, because now you have a situation where people are talking to the feds. 3 women, 1 man. And I think we know who the man was. You over here reaching out to this man's 8-year-old daughter, trying to get information from his, what would his 8-year-old daughter tell a detective? Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is new, y'all. He has a listing of the sex workers that he was in contact with, dates, and the location. 1 girl, or we think it's a girl, 4 times between January and February. Another girl 3 times between February to March. Another girl 3 times or 4 times between November to February. A 4th girl 3 times between November to December. Another girl 3 times or 4 times between February. Oh, they had, or this worker was there on the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, and the 5th. So this was like a repeat. And then 1 girl was twice in the same day. Worker number 6. Worker number 7 was really popular. Worker number 7 was there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times between December and May. And then the other last one was only there May. Maybe they didn't like that one too much, so she only got to come 1 time. And again, I'm pretty sure he has more evidence that he's sitting on. He's just putting some of these things in the news. He can continue. I told you guys yesterday, expect an amended complaint. I did not expect the amended complaint to drop the same day that I told you guys it would be coming. I did not expect that. I said it. You can go back to my video yesterday. I said, expect amended complaints to be coming soon. I did not realize it would be the same day that I said it. Defendants committed multiple acts of procuring, transporting, and distributing controlled substances. Let me see. I want to make sure that I'm not showing you some of these things. So, okay, here we have more trafficking. It says methods and means of enterprise. Upon information and belief, among the means and methods by which the defendants and their associates conducted and participated in the conduct of affairs in the enterprise were as following. Members of the enterprise and their associates procured, transported, distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms by packing these substances into their carry-on luggage and going through TSA. Plaintiff Jones personally witnessed members of the enterprise do this during national and international travel. DeForest, they traveled from Los Angeles to Miami. Brendan from Miami to St. Bartholomew. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is that French? Somebody will tell me how to pronounce it. Brendan Paul from Los Angeles to New York to Virginia to Los Angeles. And Brendan Paul from Los Angeles to London. So he's showing proof of the trafficking and interstate and like, I don't know why Diddy didn't settle with this man. Somebody said Misa's telling her son to flip. Okay, so let's read these. It says Brendan and Christina Corman brought drugs. Plaintiff and Combs, Rico Enterprise, were rehearsing for something in the Water Festival in Virginia. Plaintiff Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs do a few lines of coke in his dressing room. Defendant Combs wanted Tucci, but Brendan forgot it. So defendant Christina Corman called Young Miami, who then brought it on the private jet from Miami. So you allegedly wanted this particular drug so bad that you were upset that nobody brought it. So you call Miami, throw her on a jet, and she brings it to you. Packed cocaine in his carry-on luggage in the garage of defendant Combs' house the evening of 11/3/2023. Okay, no, that's one of the photos I definitely can't show you coming up. YouTube doesn't like it. So like I've said, you can follow my Instagram. And as soon as this video is over, I'm going to be posting these photos. But you can't show paraphernalia and things like that on YouTube. This particular picture is one of the gentlemen holding pill bottles in his black Prada bag. Who poses for pictures like this? According to Mr. Jones, the Combs Enterprise defendants informed the members and associates of the enterprises that it would be safe to transport narcotics through in their carry-on luggage because, according to TSA advisory, TSA offers security offers do not search for or other illegal drugs. The following is a screenshot of a video taken on Mr. Combs' yacht on or about December 25th, 2022 at 2:40 a.m. Brendan Paul is videotaped with one of the black pouches defendant Combs, Christina required the associates and members of the Combs Rico Enterprises to carry. This pouch was filled with ecstasy, coke, GHB, ketamine, mushrooms, and tooch. So again, I will post that video. I'll post the image on my Instagram. Make it make sense now. Yeah, no, we're not gonna there's all these causes of action. We're not going to go through that because I still have to meet with this attorney who will be giving us a breakdown of what this means as it applies to his house getting raided. So look out for that video coming. We got like almost 12,000 in the chat. Hopefully we're at least like about 5,000 likes. We didn't even make it to 5,000. Definitely hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If this video, like I said, if this video does well, we might be well on our way to hitting 150,000 subscribers. I'm extremely appreciative for each and every one of you guys. Feds were planning this, and it's in conjunction. But now, guys, think of this. Little Rod put out that extremely comprehensive complaint against Diddy. But I'm willing to bet that he had already started working with the feds prior to that complaint coming out. And that's why his new complaint dropped the same day that Diddy got raided. I'm telling you guys, over here, we use both halves of our brain. Yeah, I'm not gonna read the rest of this. I'll scan it through for some other stuff, but there's more in here. I just have to meet with that attorney soon to film an explanation of what went on with the raid. So look out for that video to drop a little bit later this evening. Anyway, guys, you have a good day. I'm going to try to, I still got to go to my trainer. I was supposed to be at my trainer at 7 a.m. That did not happen. So I'm going to have to go this afternoon, and I hate working out in the afternoon. Anyway, you got a lot of information through this video. Let people know, please share it. And shout out to all of the content creators and people who have been, oh wait, we got some super chats we got to go through. Sassy, thanks for becoming a member. Present Day Yoga, this channel deserves 1 million subscribers. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for the super chat. C.A. Williams said Mims is giving us piping hot tea, lemon, and sugar. Oh, and I'm supposed to be, I never remember to do my Cash App. You don't have to Cash App me, but if you do choose to support the channel that way, that's my Cash App. I appreciate any and everything, but again, you definitely don't have to. Sandra, maybe she filed it under self-employment. Now she got a 1099 for working for Diddy. Deidre, thanks for becoming a member. Food for Thought said, Mommy was given her own business. I don't think low-level sex worker. She is a madam, honey. Let's check Mary J's taxes for her dry clean. Thank you, Food for Thought. Thank you for the super sticker just for me. And Love on High, thanks for the super sticker. Precious One said, you're doing a great job with the updates, Mims. Thank you, Precious. The Truth Be Told said, Daphne J is 50 Cent, baby mother. Wow, this is why 50 going hard on Diddy. That's something I'll be looking into. I did pick up on that, and I see y'all did too. Rochelle, Mims, the research you can do can't be cheap. Thank you for all the hard work and glad to be a member. It's not necessarily cheap. There's things that I have to pay every month. Then once you start talking to the attorneys and the private investigator, it's not, but I'm kind of nosy. So it's kind of turning into a labor of love. But thank you for that, Rochelle. I appreciate you supporting my channel that way. Too Blessed said, woo child, Cat Williams to pass me my drink. This is a lot. It's too early. I don't know where you are, to be blessed. But it's early in the morning for me. And Naturally Mars said, Farnsworth Bentley, please come to the front. I think Farnsworth is now in Atlanta, and he ain't saying nothing to nobody. Katrina, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Guys, I do have to run because, like I said, I got to get with this attorney. But look for that update. We're going to be discussing a lot. We're going to be determining why Diddy got, well, he's going to give us insight into why Diddy got raided, and you will not want to miss that. Have a good rest of your day, and I'm going to see y'all later.